Welcome back to RNG episode 50 part 2. Once again joined by Dane, Scott, and my wonderful co-host, Raj.
What up, Playboys?
What up?
How's it going? Dude, I like the what's up, Playboys. I feel like it adds a little bit more energy to the room.
Yeah?
I don't know. What's up,
I'm
man?
pumped.
How
What's
you
up?
guys doing?
Good.
Great.
Good? Nice.
Never been
How's the
better.
day going?
Really relaxed, you know.
I can't find paper towels anywhere, so I'm kind of annoyed. But besides that, good day.
Speaking of which, I took a nap a couple hours ago, and I woke up and I was just on Reddit, and I found out that there were people hoarding, but also getting, I think, not arrested, but they're getting their eBay accounts and their Amazon accounts deleted because there's like a new states are releasing new laws for price gouging. So these people that are hoarding shit, they're really not hoarding it for themselves. They're hoarding it to fucking sell it back, right? At a higher rate.
Mhm.
And so there's laws being passed now to fix price gouging.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
taking effect. So that's pretty good news.
I saw a picture on Twitter or something of a guy who had like 4 or 5 pallets of hand sanitizer in his
Mhm.
house, and he was just
Jesus.
standing next to it, all sad. And the article was like, "Man can't sell all of his hand sanitizer now that Amazon has banned him from doing it." And I was just
You
like,
just gotta-
"Well, good job, dude."
Yeah. You just gotta
Yeah.
wait. It's kind of like that one time when
At band camp?
the Manco store in TF2 dropped all their prices on white paint. So I bought up a bunch.
Oh my gosh.
So you
And
could
then,
make a profit.
Yeah, I've been
So
sitting on it
relatable.
for like 4 years.
Nice.
And
You might want to check and see, because I mean, I'm pretty sure it's probably bounced back by now.
It did bounce back, and I forgot to sell, and then they had another sale. And now the market's saturated again. I'm gonna have to wait like another 4 years to make like $10 profit.
That's a feels bad.
Yeah, but maybe I'll just use it. I don't know. Maybe I can find a use for it.
I mean, in the article, the guy said that he might just end up donating it. So maybe you can take
That's
a leaf.
nice. Yeah.
What a guy! What a nice PR.
What a
stunt
nice
for
guy.
that guy. You know.
You're talking about selling paint. I just checked my marketplace and I sold $12.15 worth of items, boys.
Wow.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like-
Scott and I have been selling a couple items on Marketplace.
Shout out, Jill. You're
The
weird, but I
sponsor.
love you.
That might be more money than the typical YouTube payout nowadays.
Yeah, dude. I haven't made it. The last video I made was on spell break, and I think like 2 years later it might have 1,000 views. Like,
What even is Spellbreak? What
all
is
right.
it?
So spell break actually,
Sponsor, by the way.
spell break is dope. I think it like entered another phase of beta, but it's like a battle royale. But it's not like guns and stuff. It's it's like sorcery. So people can shoot like fire out of their hands or lightning. And I haven't played it in probably like a year since the first.
You can ride
one
like a horse around.
Yeah, it's pretty. It was
pretty
a
cool.
dope game. Hopefully, it catches on, but it's not. I feel like it's well, because it's not out yet. They just like ported it to
It's
beta
out.
on a console just
Is
recently.
the gameplay like Chivalry kind of?
No. It's Chivalry 2 apparently is coming out. Everybody hates them because it's on the Epic Store.
Oh, that hate is still going strong
Yeah.
for the Epic Store? Okay. Well,
My
Exclusivity
opinion on, like,
is cringe. But yeah.
yeah.
that's true too.
Wait,
But
I
I,
think-
mean, anyway, so what are you saying? Sorry.
Let me talk. I was just going to talk about Scott's point where he said, "Oh, it's not out yet." But if it's been like in beta for 2 years, like it's over, dude. I just feel like that's your chance to make a good impression. And if you haven't made a good impression in 2 years, like nobody's hopping on now.
well,
Does
everybody
that mean
that
there's no funding?
everybody
Or
that's
what
played
does
it
that mean?
likes it. Everybody that played it likes it, but it's like Realm Royale. People still play that game, but nobody talks about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like there's always going to be a niche for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
What they want to wear.
Like Evolve. you
Dude,
know,
Evolve
classic.
is
Evolve is not a
underrated
niche,
AF.
dude.
Evolve
That's
is
a dead
so
game, dude.
underrated.
Evolve
Dude,
was sick.
I'm glad that game died, dude. Fuck that game, dude. I hate Evolve so much.
I'm just
I still regret spending money on that fucking game. I feel
why,
like
bro?
I got baited in by the boys, dude.
I got
Oh
one
my
good
God.
video out of that game. It's all worth it.
Did you guys
Wait.
convince me to play that? I forget.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I remember that
Me and
Scott and I were playing.
We
and then-
bought the like $100 pack, and then the fucking
Yeah, we
game
all bought into the
dies
hype.
Whoa.
like
Yeah.
a year later.
Huh.
Mhm.
That's when we could still buy games based off of YouTube payouts.
I was.
Now I play
remember
free to play.
regretting- You play all free to play games? You don't
Well,
do
Evolve
anything
went
like-
free to play.
Yeah,
So,
and it was
That's
full. It was
true.
full of hackers after it went free to play, though.
wow, that's what
Oh,
happens.
shoot.
Oh, Raj, you need to download that Call of Duty Battle Royale because Dylan and I were playing it last night, and it's actually pretty fun.
I was literally just gonna say the second regret I've ever made purchase-wise that I've been pressured into is a Call of Duty game, and I think it might have been the last one that dropped, not
Yeah,
this
yeah,
one, but
yeah.
the one before.
No, the
That-
last one.
that happened to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the worst.
You guys are talking about not the one that just came out, but the one that came out
Black
and like
Ops
they
4.
advertised.
Yeah,
Yeah, the battle royale. Yeah,
I
that one.
paid a full price for it. It was
Yeah.
$60, and I think I played
Yep.
it twice.
yeah. I remember Dane and I played the battle royale. We played it once,
Yeah.
and then after that, I never played the battle royale again.
Yep.
yeah.
at all.
I played it the day it came out, and I think I got in like 4th place, and then I just never played it again.
Dude, it's funny how people justify it because I'll go back to the Discord of the friends that convinced me to play it, and 2 of them are like, "Yo, the zombies is still fucking lit, bro! Like we still like the zombies."
You know,
It's like,
good for them.
Yeah.
You know, they can still enjoy that after all this time.
Yeah.
Good for
I
them.
Would you
will
guys say that was like your biggest? Go ahead, Scott.
Well, I will say because I've bought every Call of Duty since COD 2. I stopped after they did the Call of Duty 4 remake, which is my favorite game of all time, but they like destroyed it with like microtransactions, all this bullshit, P2P servers in 2017 or something.
I remember.
And it was like I was so annoyed that I didn't buy like the next 2 COD games after that.
Yeah.
But then I bought Black Ops 4 and I was like, this game is dope, blah blah blah, because I played the beta.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I played it for like a month, and I'm just like, fuck this game. And then I bought the newest COD. I was like, I'm not buying the next COD. I bought it like 2 or 3 months after it came out because it was like $30. Call of Duty like has never put their games on sale. Maybe Black Friday, like they might have a Black Friday sale. Dude, you're still gonna pay $50 for Black Ops 1 on Steam, like to this day. They never put their games on sale. So I snatched it, and the new Call of Duty, just the regular multiplayer, is fun AF.
Okay, that's a good recommendation.
That's the only game I play anymore. Like I don't play Fortnite. I haven't played Halo or Destiny. I've only played COD, and I don't even play that much. I'll play like maybe an hour a night.
But do you think it's worth the price tag? Like at the
$60.
full, like, is it worth it?
Well, I heard the single player campaign's really good. I haven't played it yet. So if you're into single player campaigns, maybe. But just
I think it's actually on sale right now too.
Oh, is it? Just the regular
Maybe.
multiplayer is really fun. The thing with COD is they go out of their way to make the game fun. They go out of their way to make the game have like movement and all this stuff.
Movement.
Well, like sliding and being able to like
You can
leap
move
over
your
stuff.
character. You.
Like like all right, so you know how in Titanfall or like Apex, part of the selling
Yeah.
is how they move. It's not just ordinary like running or walking or
They're like
whatever.
wall running.
It's
shit.
like it's
I mean,
like
the
part of
movement's
the
better in-
mechanics.
It's better in Apex though than it is in Call of Duty.
Yo,
and it's
for
not
sure.
even that good in
Titanfall
Apex.
2.
For sure.
Titanfall 2 has good movement mechanics
Like-
too, which I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Which one?
Titanfall 2?
Titanfall 2 is one of the greatest games ever made, and it breaks my heart that it never got big.
Yeah, that's a good game.
Well,
Yeah,
it
Evolve.
got ruined by the battle royale craze because they were just like, "Oh shit, we need to
Yeah.
make a battle royale game now."
Now they're not making Titanfall 3. Dude, well, all the EA games are coming to Steam. If they haven't came already, they're coming like this year or whatever. I'm praying they make Titanfall 2 multiplayer free to play. Like that game is I cannot recommend a game higher than maybe like 2012 Team Fortress or Call of Duty 4. Like those are the 3 games if I ever had to recommend multiplayer games, would be those 3 games, which are all dead now obviously. But
I remember playing Titanfall 2 when it came out, and I really enjoyed it. So
it was dope. What I was going to say, though, what plagues Call of Duty, the newest Call of Duty, every iteration of Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 2, a bunch of fucking little camping bitches play it. They added kill streaks, like real kill streaks and nukes in Modern Warfare 2, And ever since then, it's turned video game players into like little camping whores. Like they're the Boy Scouts of America over here in the corner, like just hiding. That's why I like Team Fortress so much, because if you weren't a sniper or a spy, nobody camped. You know what I mean? Like it was just running.
Well, sometimes I mean, like the cool thing, at least about TF2, is that sometimes it's worth it to die. Like if you're gonna get a kill, like a worthwhile kill. But in those kinds of games, like the entire point of the game is to survive for as long as possible. Yeah. So at that point, it just turns the game into like, oh, just don't get into any sort of situation where you're at a disadvantage ever. And that translates to go and sit in a corner and wait for someone to come around the corner. And
right. I mean, that's like what the whole kill streak thing does, right? Because it's like when you get closer and closer, you're going to be playing more conservatively. With TF2, it's like, well, the first thing about TF2 is it's not kill death based. You know, it's all about the objective. Which if you play like certain modes in Call of Duty, that's the same. But the majority of people in Call of Duty just play like team deathmatch, where it's literally just about kills. Yeah. So it's like you don't want to die. It's never worth it to die. But in TF2, like it's worth sacrificing yourself if you can defend the objective.
Yeah.
I think one question I had for you guys yesterday that I missed was actually on the same topic about games. Like we all came together because of our like love for games and basically just TF2 mainly. But like what's your guys' like number one criticism for like the current gaming industry, like the games that we're seeing right now people play a lot? If you guys have any criticisms at all. I mean, I'm sure you guys probably, I don't know if you guys
trying to think of a good one.
Yeah, I'll just go first while the boys think. I have no criticisms because I'm so disconnected from like AAA gaming, right? I think the majority of innovation that happens now is like in the indie market. Other than that, like any AAA games I play are usually Nintendo, and Nintendo usually does a great job.
What are some indie games that you've been lately? I don't know.
I haven't been playing a ton. I've just played like a few. But I mean, like, you know, most of the games that really come out now and like they're standout, like these big titles now. You know, like Minecraft was an indie game. Like Stardew Valley, indie game. Like all the ones that kind of become like these classics are indie games because like the big companies are just like pumping them out as fast as they can. You know, like Call of Duty. Like Scott's saying, you know, Call of Duty 4, many people consider that to be like a classic game. But it's like when there's so many coming out so often, they just kind of get all mixed together.
It's like the FIFA effect.
You know what I mean? I still don't understand why people buy the same sports game every year. Like, at least with Call of Duty, they do release it every year. And this, I think Activision are worse than EA. Like, I think Activision are Satan in video gaming. But like, it's at least... They're at the point where they've been doing it for so long. They have different storylines, different game mechanics. Some come with zombies, some don't. You know what I mean? So like they at least mix it up a little bit. It basically is the same game though. Like if you're good at one Call of Duty, you're more than likely going to be able to pick up the next one and just be okay at it right off the bat. You know what I mean?
I think. What do you guys think about the approach? Well, I mean something more similar to TF2. You know, where it's instead of releasing a new TF2 every year, they just add more to the game. And like over the year, you know, it's been different. So like, what do you think if a game like Call of Duty were to do that? I know they have like a season pass where they had more maps, but what if it was just like, instead of, okay, this game's out for a year, it's a game that's out for like 3 or 4 years and they just continue to like make changes and improvements on the current game.
I'm a big fan of the concept of what people are saying. Like that concept is what you're describing is referred to as like games as a service, right? I like that concept a lot, and I wish more AAA studios would take that on. But the plain and simple answer to why they don't do it is because it's more profitable to just make a new game and make people pay. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's an argument against that because I mean, you can look at like Fortnite, right? Like Fortnite is extremely profitable, so it's like I think there's obviously ways to do it, but if every game were to do it, it just seems like that might not be sustainable. But there are cases where it can work.
Why wouldn't
maybe
it be?
It's a franchise thing, right? Because like the Call of Duty franchise relies on maybe like refreshing it every so often for their fan base to like, you know, re-identify, and then, you know, oh, there's a new Call of Duty. It's like a whole hype kind of like.
I think that the reason for it is in order for that to work, I feel like you have to have a really dedicated audience, and I feel like Call of Duty gamers are like they're more casual, right? So like they'll play it for like 6 months and then they won't play it until the new one comes out.
Yeah.
So it's like with Fortnite, that's their game and they're going to invest a lot of money into it because that's like what they do.
And then,
but it's like
then
with
they
FIFA that doesn't make sense because
and they have like $1,000
There's a lot of
Fortnite
overlap.
skins in their account and they don't even play the freaking game anymore. And then they get upset that they spend a ton of money on some stupid ass skins. Ugh. Sorry.
There's a lot of overlap as far as I can tell between the casual audience and the Fortnite audience. I mean, it's a massively popular game. I don't think that it's down to audiences. I think it's just down to what the company thinks is a good idea for profit. And I think that Fortnite did it right. I think that the reason why they're popular is because they decided to put all of their eggs into this one basket. And I think that more companies should do that. But I think that it's an old-fashioned mentality to think that, oh, the way that we're going to make money here is to make a game and then 2 years later come up with the sequel so that people have to pay the full price again. And I mean, I feel like there are definitely people who are going to do that, but I think that there's untapped potential in just going all out on the same game like they did with Fortnite. I think that's a really good idea, and I really hope that more people do that.
Didn't Witcher 3 kind of do that with all the expansions and stuff? Because they just kind of added on to the base game, if anything, and then just kind of made its own story.
Seems like it. I mean, like you'd think that there would be a new Witcher out by now, right?
Well, no,
they're working on.
They just said like 3 days ago that as soon as Cyberpunk comes out, they're gonna start working on the new Witcher.
Nice, that's cool.
I'm hyped for Cyberpunk, by the way. That's gonna be a great.
Yeah, it looks cool. I can't play RPGs though. Like I don't have the patience to sit and play like big ass games. Like I've never played a Fallout for more than a few hours. And in theory, that like post-apocalyptic, hoarding toilet paper setting of the Fallout universe it's right up my alley. Like I've seen every post-apocalypse movie and zombie game and all that shit. But like I just I can't invest time into it. I don't even play video games anymore besides that random hour of Call of Duty, or I'll try Overwatch a little bit just to see if I still hate it. And then occasionally Fortnite with friends, but
I'm kind of in the same boat, and this isn't really a criticism, but I'll just kind of call it my criticism of the games industry is that they're not really making any games that I want to play. Like that, and I'm very picky, I admit, when it comes to games, because I don't treat games as like a thing to do, like a distraction or whatever. I like games that become my life, if that makes sense.
Like a hobby. Right?
Yeah, I like games as a hobby instead of games as a like a boredom cure for like a couple hours, And there aren't enough of those people, so I understand why the majority of games aren't making those kinds of things. But man, it's really tiring when I get excited for a game that's coming out because I see the trailer and I was like, oh man, this could be it. This could be the game that I get into. This is the game that's going to be my thing. This is going to be me. This is going to be my game. And then it comes out and lo and behold, it has that same formula of just dopamine reactor shit where it's just like, go do this, do this, do this. Just boredom cure, just in a fancier package. And it's just not fun. Like I like games that are difficult. I like games that take like a long time to master. I like games that where knowledge about the game matters. I like games like that, but they just don't make enough of them, and I want them to make more. But I know that's it's not really criticism. It's just me being really picky about the kinds of games I want to see.
I mean, it is criticism though, in a way too, of the microtransaction, the dopamine fuel, because. I mean, another thing was like a couple years ago, a lot of people I feel like we're fighting back against the trend of like microtransactions on everything, and they were fighting back at the current state of games right now. The same things that are normalized, people were fighting back, and now it seems like people are just okay with it, and people are just all right with microtransactions, and it's become more accepted. It's kind of interesting to see how gamers have kind of moved with like the changes of the industry that once we were like adamantly trying to like keep out of the industry.
Well, dude, I'm old enough to remember when, I know you guys are too, but most people listening aren't. Like when Horse Armor came out, or like Call of Duty, when you would buy the maps and like you would get dope shit, and they were only $10. All the old Halo maps, Halo 3 map packs were only $10.
Or for TF2 when you could buy the Milkman set.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys remember. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Milkman set with that bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I think there was like a bias towards that sort of thing when it first started happening, because a lot of people or a lot of companies would like push out stuff that would give you in-game advantages. And I think the industry has moved away from that a lot now, where it's more just like cosmetic stuff. And as a result, I think people are more accepting of that. Yeah.
Talking about COD again, so like before the game came out, maybe 2 months before the game came out, people found, data miners found that they were going to have the same kind of microtransaction bullshit that they had in Black Ops 4. So there was like a huge wave of people canceling their pre-orders. And Activision actually changed it. And they, like a week later after this huge, Jim Sterling made a video, there's hoopla. Activision came out and they were like, listen, we're not going to do a season pass. We're going to do a battle pass. You can buy the battle pass. Any guns, they'll be free in the battle pass. You don't have to, because you could actually buy like weapons. That you could buy crates with COD points in the last game, like a couple games before that. And you could get weapons that you were not able to get in the game or like through regular channels. People were flipping out, and they actually changed it, which is huge because, Activision Satan.
Yeah. And I think that that little period of time when a bunch of companies were trying that like pay to win model basically and edging it further and further, just trying to see what they could get away with. And like Sai said, it's like, pushing it back a little bit further. Like whenever we push back, like that's when a compromise is met. And I think that's where we've landed as far as I can tell. But who knows? I mean, like, it seems like it's always a constant battle between like consumer and the producers of these games, where it's just like they want to see what they can get away with, and they're going to try and edge it every little tiny bit that they can. And as long as people are like in the know and aware of it, I feel like there'll always be like a good balance. But as long as people don't forget that you have to actually say something and basically just vote with your wallet, as a lot of people say. Like, if you don't like what people are doing with the game, just straight up don't buy it.
Well, and I think it's, remember when we all first started hanging out, I this was before we went to Valve. And I thought Valve was like the greatest thing since sliced bread. And I was like, oh, Valve, I have probably hundreds of dollars in Valve merch, like thousands of dollars spent on TF2. And it's like now, after going to Valve and after going to PAX, the year we went when I hung out with my friend from another video game company, and all the people were like, no, dude, Valve sucks. Like, and then like all the writers and everybody quit after that, you know what I mean? And they're just like, no, Valve sucks. It made me realize, like, video game companies, they're not your friends. Like, they're a business. And I always knew that. I've always been like hypercritical of like scummy businesses, but I didn't put the same, like, I didn't put the same measures for video games or whatever, unless they were EA. They were good. But I've come to the realization most video game companies are just scummy businesses that try to make money.
I mean, we should be calling them what they are. They're corporations.
It's
difficult. Right. I mean, like, whenever, like you said, Grizzly, like if a game is made by indie developers, those are the games that people remember, the games that people love, because they're not made by corporations. They're made by artists, and they don't have to listen to anybody. Like, they just make the game that they want to make and put it out. And those usually end up being the best games for that reason. But I don't know. Once you get to like corporation status, art like goes out the window, and it just becomes about making money. And I don't know. There's it's really difficult to make something like stick in that environment, in my opinion.
Oh, and most AAAs won't let them, because you'll see good games like what was that game? Dead Space. Dead Space was huge, and they were from a smaller studio owned by EA. It did good. Then they rushed out another one, did okay. They rushed out a third one, and did like crap, and then they just closed studio. Like AAAs, they won't even give a lot of chances for new IP. Some do, but even like Apex isn't even a new IP.
Yeah,
you know.
I think it's also like a trap that gamers fall into, because I definitely fell into this trap also with like Valve especially. It's like people end up blaming the devs of the game itself, but really it's like the gamer versus the fucking shareholders, right? As opposed to like you versus the devs. And shareholders don't give two shits about Twitter videos or Jim Sterling or any of this other stuff, right? Like they're just trying to, it's just a bottom line to them. Everyone's just a dollar sign, just kind of.
Well, to be fair, I don't think that Valve is publicly traded, as far as I know.
No, they're not.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, you're right. In any other situation, like game companies that do have shareholders to answer to and stuff, it's like a whole nother level of trying to make sure that the bottom line is the first thing that they're covering. Mm-hmm. And honestly, it's like a weird situation with Valve, in my opinion, because it's like they're not. It's not that they're beholden to the shareholders. It's that they're beholden to their game developers and their happiness, and like it's become this weird situation where they're anti-consumer almost, because they don't care about what people buy. They care about what they care too much, I guess, about what the artists are making, and they have that flat management system in place also that kind of messes everything up, and it's just this weird clusterfuck of people with weird priorities. Like, I don't know. It's very strange. Like one guy in the company gets an idea to make a game, and then all of a sudden everybody's got to drop everything that they're doing and they go work on it. Like,
it's like chasing a flash in the pan.
Yeah, it's so strange. Like it happened with Artifact, and that failed, and then now they did that with Half-Life Alyx. I mean, like that's probably going to be a little bit more successful, obviously, because it's Half-Life, but at the same time, it's on a console that nobody owns. So it's like, I don't know. Like if they were just a little bit more of the typical corporation that cares about the bottom line, then I feel like they would make, Team Fortress 3, or they would make Portal 3 or whatever. Like they would just make Half-Life 3 just a straight up full game that's on consoles and PC and stuff, like, because they know that would make them money. But at the same time, I feel like they're just so self-aware. They're like, yeah, we're not like other corporations. We make what we want to make. Well, what you want to make is not what the consumer wants. So it's like, man, can't you just like meet in the middle, like be pro artist and also be pro consumer at the same time, and I don't know, be a little bit more money motivated? I know they have Steam, which basically is just a money printer for them, but. So
well, like being different for the sake of being different. Almost, right? Like from
exactly. That's entirely the feeling that I get from Valve, is that they're just trying to be different on purpose. But it's very strange.
As a person, I appreciate how they do stuff and whatnot. But as a consumer, as a Team Fortress player that hasn't had an update in 2 years,
it's frustrating.
Like I just gave up. Like I don't care anymore.
Honestly, I'm exactly in the same boat. Like, I like the game, but it's like at this point, like, am I looking forward to anything anymore?
Yeah,
probably. Yeah. It's the worst thing being like at the mercy of this company that's just trying to be different. Like cool
even
guys.
Left 4
That's
Dead,
cute.
Which could
that's
be
really
the easiest shit to like come out with a third Left 4 Dead. They don't even need to do much more besides write like a half coherent story like the first two, and
they could probably make a third Left 4 Dead in like half a year if they
they just won't.
No, because they want to try and get on board with what they think is like the console of the generation. I personally disagree, and maybe I'll be proven wrong, but I honestly don't think VR is going to be anything more than just a gimmick. It's not. It's not what they think it is, and I don't know. I think that they're wasting their time.
I have a Vive. Oh, you guys have played the Vive.
I have a Vive as well.
Yeah, and it's like it's cool.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It's a cool little toy.
But it's like
$500 toy.
Are there any games for it that are like fully like immersive and they like
Beat Saber's pretty fun. I don't know.
Beat Saber.
Remember when you guys were over and you went in Minecraft? Did you ever do that at your house, Dane?
Yeah.
Vivecraft, like it's cool, but nobody's gonna sit and play 4 or 5 hours straight because you're going to be sweating and your eyeballs are going to be all like foggy. And it's like,
well, I mean, like that's a port. It's understandable. And I'm actually curious about Half-Life Alyx because technically, I guess you could call this the first like it's a AAA studio VR game, which honestly, they haven't really made any of those. All VR games so far have been just like half-assed little things, or they've been completely indie developed. And so it's understandable maybe that maybe like some of the games that are being made for VR just aren't up to snuff. So maybe this one will be good, but I don't know. I've seen the trailer and it's like I've played a lot of VR games, and man, like the coolest thing that they do in the game that takes advantage of VR is that they can open a door, like, and they can
reload a gun, dude.
Well, I mean, there are a ton of gun games. Yeah. There's an infinite amount of gun games for VR because, like, when it comes down to it, the basic thing that you can do in VR is load a gun and like swing a sword and maybe throw something.
Bow and arrow.
It's like it's all first person stuff.
Yeah, but movement and here's the thing is, and maybe it's because I love TF2, but I think movement is like half of the reason why you play a video game. And movement in VR doesn't exist. Like it just doesn't. It's so clunky. It sucks. Like
it's just not there yet.
No, and it's like the only way to really make it work is to put a fucking 360
treadmill
underneath you, but that's not gonna happen. Like
it's not
we're not Ready Player One yet. Like that's not gonna happen. So I don't know. I don't think of VR games as video games, and I know that there are probably a lot of VR enthusiasts out there who are probably really upset about that. But honestly, it's like when you take movement out of the situation, it's really difficult for me to get on board, man. Like I got to be able to have the fun movement for a video game to be fun.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. Movement is everything, because we were talking about Titanfall 2 earlier, right? And that it's a super movement heavy game. I mean, have you guys played Titanfall 2?
Yeah. I love that game. Yeah. I haven't played in a long time, but
let's
I remember
all go
really
play.
liking it.
Let's install it.
Stop what we're doing. Let's just go play.
Install it on Origin and let's like...
Don't stop recording. They can just listen to us play it.
True.
Well, and Titanfall 2 had an amazing single player campaign too. It was like the perfect game.
I actually so I never played the game itself. The reason why I know a lot about it is because I sat through a 3-hour-long speedrun of the single player, and I literally saw like all the movement mechanics, and I was like, dude, I gotta play this fucking game. It looks so fucking amazing, just like from the speedrun and like all the stuff that he was doing and all the mechs and everything and all the gameplay. I don't know. It's a crazy looking game.
Like I said, all the EA games are coming out on Steam eventually. But dude, Titanfall 2 is usually like $5 on a regular basis.
What are the EA? When you say the EA games, I don't even know what that means.
So like
EA
the
games,
FIFA ones,
all the shit,
and
NBA, EA's
NBA
games. They pulled everything from Steam a long time ago. So EA has like Dead Space, which is a great single player game. The Titanfall franchise. They have all those bullshit sports. The Sims.
Are they putting out Spore? Was Spore EA?
I think Spore was EA. Yeah.
That's
EA
all
does
I'm looking forward to.
God, remember the Spore hype, dude? That was like a thing for a moment. People who actually really enjoyed Spore.
Yeah.
The Star Wars Battlefront series was EA, which that's why the whole loot boxes or whatever. Dude, think about it. We were getting ripped off by Valve for years with our gambling. Nobody complained, but they put it in a Star Wars game,
and we liked it.
Yeah, we liked
it. We had a marketplace, though,
right?
Yeah, we had an economy.
You know,
yeah.
It's different with trading. It really is. Like if you can set your own prices elsewhere, then it's not that bad. But I gotta. I mean, you're right. If you could only get the weapons from the Manco store, of course people would be fucking mad.
And think about it. We used to be able to buy like gray market keys for like 90 cents less than what they would cost in the store from some Russian
let us
with a
do
stolen
it.
credit
So
card.
thank you, Valve.
And they let us do it.
Good
Dude,
job.
you're totally right because I feel because them letting us do it is important because it's just like Blizzard with WoW, right? Like with the whole private service thing, they took it down and then dropped Classic. It's like companies don't really like it when players take advantage, or not even just take advantage, but just like try to get creative with their services.
Yeah, they like having control over everything about the game.
Yeah, well, it sucks too because a lot of times if they like, even if the companies want to let them do it, like it's not hurting them in any way, shape, or form. The publishers are the real. Usually it's not the devs, and everybody goes crazy on the devs for like being assholes or whatever. But it's usually the publishers that are the assholes. Mm-hmm. They're the ones who, they're the ones with stockholders and whatnot, and most people don't understand that. And they're like,
how much power do they have though? Like, because we were talking about Dead Space earlier, right?
The publisher has most of the money. Power. They have the money. They won't put out.
That's what
the
happened
game.
to Evolve, dude. Mm-hmm. Evolve was all the publisher's fault.
Evolve. So like the reason people flipped out about Evolve in the very beginning is because they're basically locking monsters behind this $100 price tag.
Day one DLC.
That was my
day
problem,
one
dude.
DLC, and like it was 2K. 2K is another greedy ass piece of shit publisher that goes unnoticed a lot of times. Their whole thing is games as a service. So like Evolve, the devs didn't want to get screwed over like that, and the devs they're the ones who are doing they're the ones who did the original Left 4 Dead.
Oh really?
Yeah, Turtle Rock.
Oh.
They did Left 4 Dead, sold it to Valve, and then they're working on a game called, I think, like Back 4 Blood, number 4 Blood, which is asymmetric
Left 4 Dead ripoff.
Yeah, but they made the original Left 4 Dead, so is it a ripoff? Like,
no,
it's
I'm down.
Oh, dude,
it's a continuation.
I'm
spiritual
hyped for
successor.
Yeah,
I like that.
I'm hyped for that because they're the ones who like started it all, and they're making this asymmetrical zombie game. So it should be.
It's a double entendre, dude, because they got dicked over with the whole Evolve thing. They're Back 4 Blood, dude. They're not just gonna leave it like it is.
But it's usually always the publisher, and that's
double entendre.
I know, dude, like he's rapping.
You mean Catch-22?
Raja always has to bust out some rap, like
the vocabulary.
Yeah, I'm on Origin right now, and they're having a sale. So everybody go buy Titanfall.
How much is it?
I don't know because I own it, so it won't let me see.
Go to the store.
No, it is. It won't.
I don't have enough RAM for that right now, I guess.
You don't have the RAM for it, dude.
I don't have the RAM to record a podcast and also launch Origin.
No,
Origin takes up a lot.
I
upgraded my RAM pretty recently because last time I edited a big thing that was like really long, it like really lagged my PC, and I looked into it, and apparently Premiere is really RAM intensive. So that's like one of the only things I know how to do with a computer. So I'm stupid. I don't know how to like replace motherboards or whatever, but I know how to replace the RAM sticks because you just pop it out.
Snap them in.
Yeah. So I went and I got 64 gigs of RAM.
Jesus.
Nice.
And now it runs butter smooth.
Dude, I thought I did overkill with 32.
I know. I'm future proofing it, man.
Are you DDR4?
Is nice.
What?
Did you go DDR4 or did you go more than that?
I don't know. I'd have to check the thing. Like
I
said,
don't even know. I don't
know.
even know if DDR4 is still like the newest RAM because I haven't upgraded my computer in like 2 years, and I won't be anytime soon.
Yeah,
dude, my boy's in DDR6, dude. He's like next level. Actual.
I'm pretty sure it's DDR4. But I can't be 100% on that because I'd have to look at the package that I threw away.
Have you tried like doing a test render compared to like before?
It renders about the same speed. I looked into it, like the brand of RAM that I got is better for on the fly shit. So like the problem I was having, it wasn't with render time, and honestly I don't really give a crap about render time because I don't care how long it takes to render stuff. I don't have like deadlines or whatever. So I was having a lot of problems with just editing. Like any time that I would try and play the clip in the editing bay or whatever, it would take like 5 seconds to play, and sometimes it would take like 30 seconds to start playing. Jeez. And I was just like, this is unworkable. And my workaround was I would have to split. Like I noticed that it wouldn't lag if the thing I was editing was like 2 or 3 minutes long. So I would have to like chunk up the thing into like 2-3 minute long segments, render them all separately, and then put all of those rendered things into a new timeline and then just render that, because I don't have to work with that. I can just put it in the timeline and be done with it and then render it. I don't have to mess with it. So
there's actually I know Dane doesn't have to deal with this now, but for anybody else struggling with that, there's actually an option you can pre-render sections in the timeline, and you don't have to like render them out. You can just pre-render them right in the timeline.
Yeah,
it does the same thing. Is that what you're talking about doing?
Yeah, I was doing that, but I actually didn't really like doing that, because a lot of that stuff, a lot of stuff for me whenever I'm editing isn't final. I go back and I edit little tiny things, and I wasn't completely sure if I was like okay with just saying like, oh yeah, that's set in stone now, you know.
Right. Well, I mean, like when you pre-render, you're not like, it's not like final or anything. You can change it.
Oh no.
And then you have to,
Oh, okay. All right.
I didn't know about it until this last video I've been working on. I've been using it like religiously.
Which video? Which the one that we 6 months
for like
ago?
A side channel, dude. It's for like a baking video or something.
Oh yeah.
Dude, those baking videos are intense with all the scenes and the cameras, dude.
Can we just talk about how I'm not going to visit Grizzly now because I don't leave my house anymore because there's
corona?
Sad.
Yeah.
Bro, you're not going to catch corona if you road trip it out, dude. Just stay in your car.
True.
Just Purell.
I still have to get gas
out of it.
And you still have to be near people whenever you go to his house.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense,
we don't have
but I mean,
here.
who knows if those two have the coronavirus? You know what I mean? Like
that's true. Grizz, have you been hiding it from us, dude?
I mean, I don't.
Have you been washing your damn hands, for God's sake? Come on.
I mean, we all know that Grizzly is sick, so he could have that coronavirus dad joke. What up?
Dude, I'm trying to use the coronavirus as an excuse to get a week off.
Because you have to get to clients' houses and stuff.
Yeah, so I got this new. So I haven't caught you guys up with anything because we haven't actually done like a live talk. But fucking, what do you talk? Yeah, like fucking.
Well, they know because they listen to the RNG podcast every week, right?
No.
Guys? So
I don't blame you both if you don't. Listen.
Hold on. The last thing, I'm just going to bring this up because I find it hilarious and I hope he's in a better place. The last thing I remember talking about with Raj, this was like a year ago. And you know when something's up with Raja because he does not message you unless he like needs life advice. And we all know this is true. If you're friends with Raj, he does not message you. And it's cool though, because it's like your old friends from high school you talk to like once a year. You're like, oh yeah, no hard feelings, cool. Raj does not message motherfuckers unless he needs something advice-wise, right?
That's actually true. I'll take
super
that.
true.
That's
So
super
like the
true.
last thing I knew, Raj dated this girl for like half a week and he fell in love and had his heart broken. And he literally cried about this shit for like a month. For a month
couldn't let
straight.
that go.
For a month straight,
bad.
this fucker is like messaging me on, and I'm over here trying to play video games, like when I still played. And I'm like, fuck. He's just gonna whine for like 30 minutes, and I don't want to be a jerk and tell him the truth. Just like leave. This is weird. So I like act concerned and shit over some weird like little crush. Are you over that now? Did everything was that?
No, I've been over that.
Okay.
That's actually funny you bring that up because I look back at that and I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? Or like, why did I even like bring the number one thing is I have a lot of those like moments where like like you said, like I go talk to people that I haven't talked to in a long time, right? And it's always really funny because I'll catch up with people who like I like legit haven't spoke to for like years at a time. And then like we'll start catching up and shit, and then I'll go into the whole life advice thing and kind of, cause I like to get opinions and perspectives, right? And then so like I'll go and like talk to people, and it's always the most cringe shit because I'll leave the conversation, go like a couple months without thinking about it, and I'll think about it again. I'm like, why the fuck did I even like care about this like that much? It's not even like impacting my life at all, right?
Yeah.
But I was gonna say actually, since like last year, I've been no-lifing WoW and like trying to like do like job applications and shit, and I've been getting like interviews at all these different companies like Ubisoft and shit because. Kind of I faked a really fire resume, boys. I got into a lot of fucking rooms, but basically, none of that worked out because, well, I mean, obviously, because I would go to these interviews and like one thing after another happens, and it just doesn't work. But I got a job through playing WoW from like a friend as a home inspector. Like I'm actually a fucking home inspector in North. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. I didn't think I'd be in this position, but fucking the whole podcast for like I'd say like a couple of weeks now, it's just been about like about
inspecting
that.
homes.
And I called up, and my friend, he's the VP of the company. He's who I played WoW with, right? He got me the job. And so me and him were cool as fuck. And this morning I called him up and I was like, bro, I'm not going to lie. Like, I know I don't have the corona. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't got the corona. You know what I mean? I don't got the corona, but I'm a little sick, dog. I'm not going to lie. I got a little bit of a cough coming on, dude.
Yeah.
I set this seed, and then tomorrow I'm gonna be like, went to the doctor, fam. He's like, you gotta chill. You know what I mean? Like, couple days, take a little bed rest, dude. I'm gonna see if I can get out of working.
Now's the time. I mean, yeah.
Cash in. Yeah.
I have used this pandemic to get out of one thing so far. My sister wanted me to go help her film some video she wanted to make for her husband. For his birthday or something. Yeah. And I was like, man, you can do that yourself. Like, you don't need, just because I'm a video guy doesn't mean that you need my permission to make a fucking video. And I don't know, like, whatever. I was gonna do it because I'm not doing anything else. But this whole thing happened, and I genuinely don't want to get sick. So there is some truth to it. But I was like, you know what? This is the perfect time to get out of that stupid thing that I kind of don't want to do. So I did tell her, I was just like, probably shouldn't do that. It's coronavirus season, and you know me, Taylor, I have asthma. Like, you grew up with me. You know this. I don't want to get sick. Like, I could be hospitalized. So,
you don't want to get the corona, dude. I agree with you.
I genuinely don't. Like, I'm being completely serious. Like, I am kind of scared.
We'll survive it, though. We'll survive it.
I know I will, because I'm going to stay in my house for 3 weeks. But, like, still, I don't want to get sick.
What's the mortality rate for young people?
Very low.
Very low. Yeah. It's like
less than 1%.
It's less than half of 1% for young people.
Well,
but at
it's
the same
only
time,
1% 50 plus. Yeah. Like, it's, I think, not even 0.5% for under 50.
The deal is
above like 60 though. It's like
old people are the most in danger. But the deal is, apparently, if you have prior conditions such as respiratory problems or whatever, that also puts you in danger of at least being hospitalized. Yeah, and I don't want to deal with that. Obviously, like, who does? So I'm just gonna take all precautions. Last time I was sick, it evolved into bronchitis, and I was out of commission for a month, and had a cough for like 3 months. So
and that's how people are getting, like, with the deaths. It's from secondary bronchitis and pneumonia and stuff. It's not even from the coronavirus. It's from getting sick and then coughing so much that you, like, rip your esophagus and you get bacteria.
That you cough to death.
Yeah, you basically cough to death. Like, how fucked up is that, dude?
It's very fucked up, and that sounds like the worst thing that I could die to. That would be embarrassing. So I'm not gonna go outside.
Imagine dying to a cough.
Yeah,
that'd be so sad.
That would be. I'd be like, Mom, don't tell everybody I died of coronavirus. Tell them I died in a cool motorcycle flipping accident or something.
A seance.
Say I tried to do a big motorcycle flip and said, watch this, and then I died.
Dying to the common fucking cough, dude.
Yeah, not cool, not cool.
The common cough.
It sucks because I'm trying to, like, have everything ready so that I didn't have to leave the house. And I swear to God, like, once you start thinking about what you still need, you're like, shit, I need that. I have to leave again. I need that. I have to leave again. Like, we're running out of milk. I don't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, the nice thing about it is that it's not airborne, right? So it's like you can only get it if, like, you physically come in contact and then, like, you touch your face or something. So it's like
you can still go to the grocery store. It's just don't, like, get close to people and don't try.
Wait, it's not airborne? I thought it was like an airborne.
It's droplets. So, like, it's if somebody coughs and sneezes, if you walk through their mist within, like, 30 seconds or something, you're probably, or if they sneeze in the aisle on the box of Ritz crackers, and then you pick up those Ritz crackers and then touch your face, you're getting sick. Yeah, and I don't even care how weird, because now, from what I told you guys last night, I have to worry about not getting people sick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I'm wearing vinyl gloves when I go out. I don't even feel weird. I don't care. Somebody can look at me
like
weird.
those moisturizing gloves.
Yeah, dude, you know those gloves. Because, like, we talked about the OCD last night, where my hands get really, really dry because I wash them so many times. And, like, I have all kinds of gloves already. Just from, like, Whatever.
A lot of gloves.
You guys didn't know I was this weird when I just commented over shitty gameplay, huh?
We knew.
I mean, you guys knew, but people listening.
You can pick it up.
The Mumble boys knew. The Mumble crew.
Mumble men.
Oh my gosh, Mumble. Those were the days. Discord literally just came out and shit on everything in a matter of a month.
Yeah.
Rightfully so, because it's a lot better.
Discord was like the coronavirus of fucking voice.
Like, yeah.
It just,
just wait until Raj and I take the sponsorship from this new company.
I was just about to say,
it's gonna be
Raybox.
the Discord killer, dude.
The Discord shitters better sit the fuck down, kid. Right? The Raybox boys are out here.
We're about to get it on the ground floor.
Okay.
Dude, they sent an email. They're like, yeah, we'll give you like $1,000 if you fucking do like a 15. It was so pretentious too. Like the email, they were just like, yeah, move aside Discord and Skype, as if like it's just like a useless.
First off, as if anybody uses Skype anymore, but
right, who the fuck knows about Raybox for them to be like, sit down, Discord?
Nobody. That's why they're paying, dude. That's why they're paying you.
I always get emails about like, hey, we want to partner with you. And it's like, motherfucker, I don't do anything. Like, what are you going to partner with? Well, wait, hold on. What did you guys say the name of the company was?
Raybox or something?
I swear to God, 9:50 a.m. they sent me one.
Yeah,
wow.
They sent it to everyone.
Just take your email address off your YouTube channel and it won't do it anymore.
Yeah, fine. Wait, 10 to 15 seconds at the beginning of the video?
I don't want to turn down any opportunities like that, Dane.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
No, I'm talking to Scott because obviously he's. I mean, he's.
No, man, I'll make a video just to advertise my at this point. I'm gonna be stuck in the house for the next 2 months. Corona, pandemicing. I'm gonna relaunch my YouTube channel with a vengeance.
Couple easy collab Raybox sponsors.
Yeah, dude. Hopefully, I get a rich wallet
dude,
out of that shit too.
We haven't made videos for like 2 years. We're gonna come back. All three of us are gonna drop a Rayvox video.
Yeah, boy.
Is there like? Do you think that it would be worth it to like build up a channel, right, and then just switch to entirely just advertising? Like
a lot of channels already do that now. What do you mean?
No, I mean like not even hiding it or anything. Just now
like
you
literally upload commercials.
Well, yeah, now you just make commercials.
Think about it. All right, when we all started YouTube, if you were like sponsored or if you even said like, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, like you were viewed as a sellout piece of shit. And now that's
a requirement.
It's a requirement. Everybody does it. Like I honestly look back at my channel and I'm sad that I had like a conscience and I refused to, you can't see the air quotes, sell out. Like if I started a YouTube channel right now, I would sell the fuck out in a heartbeat.
Well, yeah, because
the only people that care is TF2 viewers. TF2 people are like, they're like the fucking gatekeepers of like video gaming.
They don't care. People don't care.
No, I've never had a problem
nowadays.
With
I'm talking about back then.
I don't even think they cared back then. Maybe it seemed like they cared back then because it was like a vocal minority, but they didn't give a fuck, dude. You could have done fucking.
Well, it was rare.
It was rarer. Anything, you know,
there wasn't really a whole lot of companies that knew that like partnering up directly with people for ads within the video would be like a beneficial thing. So it's just kind of like, it's just because it just wasn't a big thing back then. And the people who did do it, who were lucky enough, I guess, to get those sponsorships way back when it was so rare, probably were viewed as like, oh, that's a sellout move because like nobody does that. But now it's like so common that it's like almost expected at this point. Like
RTF2 still shits on Musalk. Like 5 years later, they just posted something like, because I still am sub to RTF2, but it's not like I go in there. But I was scrolling down.
Just because he doesn't make videos?
Well, new stuff. I mean, when it comes to content, I mean, you can't really blame them because there's not a whole lot to talk about in TF2.
I heard
right now.
like, I mean, somebody
the same
in that
stuff is going to be
thread
recycled.
Said he's worth like $5 million. Like his annual income's like $5 million. Do you remember our little baby Elliot? Our little Elliot is now like a big famous YouTuber. Like I'm actually kind of. You know?
Let's be honest, we barely knew the guy. I mean, like, he was just fucking... he just happened to be like an up-and-coming YouTuber at the same time that we were making content. But at the same time, it's like, you know, he branched out and did some variety stuff, and he's Australian, which is pretty cool. Cool accent, you know?
Tried making a video with him once. It didn't go well.
Yeah.
His vibe and his like, I guess, general like aura just like brought all these kids just walk into his personality. I mean, it's just, it's a personality thing.
Since we're talking about this, he was smart too. He knew exactly what he was doing. Like,
you gotta be a businessman to be successful.
No. He knew exactly what he was doing. Exactly. Why do you think he had a format, dude? Try Hard Tuesday or whatever, Thursday?
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
He knew exactly what he was doing. And no matter how much people shit on that kid or whatever for like, I mean, it's just because he left, whatever. But like when Overwatch first came out, I really wanted to make Overwatch content because I was in closed beta before like months before people could play. And he was the only other person I knew. So I would actually like help him with his Overwatch videos and he would give me advice like, oh dude, I promise you, like, if you do it, you'll get shit on for a while, but then like it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it to switch over. And Overwatch blew up, and I like didn't switch to Overwatch because I didn't
listen to Elliot.
No.
Scott,
I didn't want my I didn't want my TF2 people to get mad at me, and I was dumb. And I think it was also in like a big
Overwatch also sucked. So
no, Overwatch was great until they put more in the game. But I was in like this weird like depression state. It was like really bad.
I think I remember this version.
Yeah, dude. I was like,
I remember that.
It was a dark time. All those people are like, wait, why do you make videos like once every 6 months? It's because I like am insanely depressed and I can't like hear myself talk without wanting to jump in front of a car. That doesn't happen.
Okay. What made you get? I don't remember because I know we used to always talk about that, but like, what made you get that way? Is it just because like the content you were making, or like
no? It was life. It was like it had nothing to do with.
Life sucked. That was the thing.
No, the life didn't even suck. It's when we lived in California. I quit my job to like stay at home with Alex, and like guys are I don't know, at least my generation, whatever. We're like trained that we're supposed to be workers and we're supposed to do all this like societal norm. So imagine quitting your job to be a stay-at-home dad after I was like mildly macho and like, like a guy's
mildly,
guy.
Dude. Not even mildly.
Alpha as fuck.
Alpha as fuck, dude. Overtly alpha.
Like a guy's guy, right? And so it like hit me hard. It fucked my head up. And then finally I got to the point where like I'm the luckiest person alive. I could like literally get to chill out with my kid who's awesome nonstop. But it took a while and I couldn't make content. Like everything I made I hated. Dude, you guys know some of the ideas. I had amazing ideas and I just never made them. Because I just like
Body Shot, that one song.
Dude, Snowball.
Dude, you got so mad at me. I'll never forget this. This was the greatest fucking like maulding moment of fucking. Because Scotcha maulds a lot, but this is like one of the top mauled moments, dude. I remember I got into a call with him, and I remember like what map I was on in TF2 too. I was just playing demo night one night, and I don't know if it was on Discord or Mumble. It was like a while back, but. I brought up like, yo, like I know you weren't gonna do the Body Shot song because it's been a while. Like, I might do it, bro. I might go ahead and pull the trigger on this one. I remember you just going off on me, like, no, bro, I'm gonna fucking drop that video. It's my idea.
I still have all the lyrics on my computer, like in a Word file. I still have all the lyrics. I just never.
Those are good times, man.
You should make that the TF2 community, like Dana said, starved for content.
Yeah.
True.
Well,
man.
the next video I make, I swear, I'm gonna start a stay-at-home dad channel soon. And
that's kind of fire. That's kind of a vibe. I'm not gonna
I love those kinds
like
of channels. No joke. Like that's like the best content on YouTube is like people who have like a weird situation and they just talk about it, make videos about it, like, or they have like
a weird situation though, right? Just like the stay-at-home dad thing.
Fucking weird, dude.
No. I'm not saying that's weird. I'm just saying like it's
a gaming channel or not.
Oh, okay. I see
it's
what you're
specific
saying.
to his life. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like when people have hobbies or whatever, if they have like weird interests or whatever. And not have, I mean, obviously having a son is not a weird interest, but I mean, like you have, you have like hobbies outside of it. Like you collect vinyl, you
watch anime.
Yeah.
I don't even watch anime anymore.
Raj, watch anime, listen to vinyl.
I haven't watched anime in like forever either.
Oh shit! What have you been fucking doing? Just scared of the corona?
Grown up shit.
Dude, when you get the coronavirus, that's something to capitalize on even more. Stay-at-home dad with corona. It's
like, do you know
that's fire.
That's a niche.
Yesterday was Friday the 13th. The night before, I was thinking, I'm like, I'm gonna make a video and I'm gonna call it "It's Friday the 13th and I don't want to go outside to get coronavirus. Let's play TF2." And I was actually gonna stream on YouTube TF2, but then my internet is like the ping sucks now, so I don't even think I could stream if I wanted.
You just gotta go for it. You just gotta commit.
A lot of people are shitter ping on TF2 streams, dude. You just gotta get in there. You gotta just make that shit work.
It's not about the gameplay, you know. It's about what you offer.
Not much,
start a channel called Quarantine Dad, and then
Quarantine Dad.
That's
like
fucking
that.
fire, dude. Honestly,
I'm about to start that. Pretend like
come
I'm
up
a
with the
dad.
title
You
first, work
guys
backwards.
yeah, we should all just start Quarantine Dad. It'll just be like a
He's just trying to steal the idea. It's just like not even a dad.
Thanks, Dane.
He's just
That'll be the name of the first video on the Stand Up Dad channel.
Quarantine Dad.
That's a great idea, man.
That's
Dude,
a sick channel.
YouTube channels where I feel like they don't try hard to make content, but they just like show their life or like just their viewpoints, and it's just entertaining by itself. That's always the best content.
Well, it's YouTube is just the replacement for television at this point. So I mean, they just want to have something to put on. So I mean, if you just make a long video talking about something that's mildly interesting, like it's gonna blow
Somebody
up.
will
'cause
watch it.
people
Do you
just-
guys
yeah,
still
it's gonna
watch
be there.
YouTube like on a regular? Like, do you?
Of
does
course,
anybody-
that's the only thing I watch. I don't even. I mean, I have
who's your like
TV,
main
but I don't watch
creator
it.
that you still watch?
Oh, there's too many.
Really? See, because I'm at the point where like I watch a couple vinyl channels that are talking about like new records or reviews or whatever. I watch Fantano and I watch like Philip DeFranco, and then I'll watch like random shit like Zach Morris's trash on Funny or Die, but like. I don't even really watch YouTube anymore. It's fucking strange.
Honestly, like YouTube's gotten pretty darn good at recommending things. Like their algorithms hitting it pretty hard. Like
my algorithm sucks because I just told you the stuff I watch, so it doesn't give me anything. I'll get like Desus and Mero clips every now and then, or like just random shit that I have no clue why
I think it mostly just helps for people that just watch YouTube automatically. But I mean, this point, I barely even look at my subscriptions anymore. I never thought the day would come, but man, like if I want to watch YouTube, most of the time I just go to the homepage and I just scroll and look for something that looks good. Like it's pretty easy.
I tend to like fall in love with like certain YouTube channels for a period of time and then just rotate them out for like another 2 or 3 and just kind of like watch those and then rotate. Like the newest YouTuber I started watching was this dude named Producer Michael, who's like, I don't know if you guys ever heard of that name or even seen his videos.
No.
Dude,
He's
this
a
guy,
producer though.
He looks like a mix of like Trump and like I can't figure out who the second person. He looks like a Trump type person. Like just the way he like he's like super fucking rich somehow. I don't know how he got so rich, but he'll have videos where he goes and like buys these like $1.5 million watches. But it's not like one of those channels where he like flexes on the wealth. He's like one of those like old collector dudes that like talks about like the intricacies of like the complications on a watch and shit like that. I don't know. It's like shit like that. I'm like, all right, this is like a new world that I'm never gonna walk into like a Jacob and Co and look at like $1.5 million watches or anything like that. So like it's cool to like see that side of the world too a little bit. So I don't know. I just started kind of watching.
If I won the $120 million Powerball tomorrow, I still wouldn't. Like the thing I would probably splurge on the most is like a Volvo or a Tesla or something like
Watches
super
are nice, guys.
super
Have you
like
seen
low key.
them?
Dude, have you
Nice,
have you ever seen my watch?
No, I don't think so.
Bro, I got like
Are you a watch collector? Or do you just kind of like?
I used to be. All right, so when I was younger, I worked in mortgage before the collapse. So I had quite a few.
I know the story.
I had quite a few nice watches, like $1,000+ watches. They're all in like a box somewhere. I don't even wear them. I have a 1962 or 66 Omega Seamaster, which is like a leather band. It's dope as fuck, and it's not $1.5 million. It's like vintage, so it's not.
But they appreciate
crazy.
in value, right? Certain watches, like if you
I'll watch
the
a
good
shit.
ones.
Dude, I just found out from YouTube algorithm. Apparently, vintage T-shirts. People pay like thousands of dollars for vintage T-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Thousands, I mean.
No.
It's
Somebody
just a
just paid
movement.
a $1,200 for a Kira T-shirt. I just saw it. I'm like, what the fuck? They'll go to thrift shops and they'll look for like old shirts and they'll flip them on like one of the hypebeast sites. And you pay like $1,200 for a Kira shirt, and it's not even nice looking. It's like an all over print.
Scott, I figured out your comeback, dude. If you ever come back to YouTube, bring out all the because you used to like do you have like old band like shirts and shit, right, from back in the day, and like the watches. You should like start a channel where you come back like stay at home dad with the greatest
Flexing on
like hype beast
everybody.
collection of fucking clothes and like.
Well,
like,
if I wouldn't
show
have
off, like, all your
before
stuff.
I moved here, I gave away or sold all of my Jordans and Dunks. And that's another thing that I'll watch on YouTube sometimes, like sneakers. And it's crazy because these people are paying like insane amount of money for sneakers. And it's like I used to collect sneakers in the early 2000s, late 90s, and it was a completely different world. Like,
no, I can imagine.
You could just go to a store. They didn't even have special apps or anything for sneakers. You would just go to a store that would sell quick strikes and just buy them. And like maybe you'd stand in a line. It's nice being old, guys. I like it. I look like a fucking
You're not that much
amazing
older
life.
than us.
I'm old enough though. It's like a different generation.
Not really.
A different time, dude.
He has a kid, so he's like mentally older. than us,
True.
Maybe. That
ages you like at least 10 years on top of what
you
you
just
already are.
I think you just participated in culture of that time when we didn't because we were losers.
We're
Was Scott a
babies.
hype beast back
I didn't
then
buy
too?
shoes when I was that age because I was a dork. I wore sneakers.
I didn't know what culture was.
I played Halo. I played Halo and did my homework. I didn't.
Yeah.
Halo's culture. Let's be honest.
True.
Dude. Halo
Wait,
3
Well,
lobbies
yeah.
were
That's
culture.
what. But I mean, like, I don't know. You guys are talking about fucking $1,000 watches and buying sneakers. Like,
Yeah.
I was never a part of that culture at all.
I was rocking a badass Casio.
Dude, but
I mean, I'm
I feel
wearing
like-
a Fitbit right now. I don't give a shit what I.
Those are that's a really I don't give a shit type fucking wrist thing, but fucking because with watches it's so cool because like I feel like with things like clothing, watches, and shoes, they become this thing where like the market value really doesn't matter. It's like the value of the culture, right? Like that dictates.
It's brand
the overall
names, isn't it?
price.
As far as I can tell,
Yeah.
all about
honestly,
like what the brand is.
Dude, it's like
brand is
it's like
important,
weird consumerism. Like like
Brand
certain
loyalty.
people.
It's a club.
I think it's
It's
collectible
weird.
consumerism,
Dude, it's
right? The
weird,
people that go
yeah.
for collectibles, they price the shit out of like a Rolex that was marketed at $20K. Now it's at like $100 because people just want that more. Like it's just in a rap video or whatever.
Well,
fuck
like
it is, the
hype
collectors
beast
want it.
culture is fucking weird to me because like a lot of stuff, like there's this weird person in a weird room that decides what's nice looking and what's not. Like some of the shit, and I see these videos where they like look at all these sneakers. So, some of the stuff is butt ass ugly, but they're like, oh, that's fucking fire because it's limited to 500 units, and it's just like record collectors do the same shit.
Yeah,
They'll
it's a
have
collection.
They'll be like limited to 500 like colored vinyl, and people go crazy over it, and it resells for like 3 times the price the next day. And it's just like I don't know. Maybe it's just because I already lived through that. You know what I mean? And like,
Sure, yeah.
You're woke.
yeah, it's stupid.
What
to
was
me.
the outcome of that culture though when you lived through it? Like what happened to all those like dudes that were when like hype?
I don't
back
know
then?
because it wasn't like that. Like there weren't YouTube channels and shit like that about collecting sneakers.
The
Like, there were a
internet
couple
really has
forums.
changed a lot of everything. So
Yeah, there were a couple
Yeah.
forums and stuff like that. You would have like maybe a monthly like sneaker show, like buy, sell, trade at a Holiday Inn, and people would just take their stuff
Oh,
and,
shit.
and you would go
That's,
and
like,
you pay
super
like
old school.
$5 to get in, and you would
Yeah.
trade sneakers or whatever, or
That's fucking sick.
Dude,
you
now
would
they have
actually
actual stores though that do that. Dude.
Yeah, I
like
know.
an actual
I
like
know.
reseller store, and it's like really like it's licensed and everything.
Yeah, like they have like Flight Club and shit like that too, where you can do consignment. And it's just like it wasn't like that back then. You didn't know what you were getting. Like you just bought them because you liked them or you collected them. Like at one point I probably had 130 pairs of Jordans, and out of those
Damn.
130 pairs, I probably wore 5.
Right.
Like
well, yeah, it's
It's
a
a collector's
It's a
thing.
collector's thing. It's
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
not supposed
And
to
still,
wear
right
them.
now, I got rid of all of my shoes except 4 pair, and none of them have been worn. They're icy as fuck, and I'm either probably gonna sell them soon because they're worth like money, or I'm just gonna
Money.
give them to Alex. Like I have a pair of Jordan 4 militaries that haven't been re-released since like 2009 or something.
How many pairs did you say you have? 4?
I have 4 pairs left. I
One
have a
for each
pair
of us, dude.
Yeah, you guys wear
Just
size
sell them,
12s?
man. Just sell them.
Give 'em out.
Bother about giving
No,
them.
no, no.
People just sell
If
them.
Alex
12?
wears it, If Alex wears it in like high school, bro, he'll be fucking balling, dude. You give him
No,
like
but at
fresh
that
ass
point-
pairs, like
At that point, they probably would just fall apart. Like if you put them on and try to walk in them, they'd probably fall apart.
Oh, I feel you, just because the leather.
Because they would be like 30 years old at that point.
Yeah.
Like I have a pair of De La Soul Dunk highs in a pink box, which I guess makes a difference now. Like I think
the
I paid
OG
like
box
200.
versus
Yeah,
like
I paid like $200 for those, and I see them sell on eBay for like $600-700. I'm like, I think it's time to sell these fuckers.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the watches. If you don't have the original box for it and
Yeah.
shit that came from the company, no one gives a fuck. They're just like it's some aftermarket shit, you know. And the price just goes down.
Yeah, but each of my I didn't have many. I think I had like 3 watches. Each one was a story, so it's like I probably would not get rid of those.
Yeah, that's a good thing to pass down though to Alex eventually.
Yeah.
Like a watch and some J's. That's like a good gift you can give to a son, dude.
And a shit ton of
fresh pair.
Funkos and a insane record collection.
Yeah.
I quit
Maybe
collecting
some Australian weapons, you know.
maybe some Australian weapons if I don't sell them all on fucking marketplace. Shout out Gio, my boy, getting up
Let
political
him
on Twitter.
inherit the Scotch Yacht channel, dude. Let him just take it over. Drop some fresh new content for the boys.
That'd be crazy.
No, I told Dylan about this idea I have that would warrant a marketplace sponsorship.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make the video first and then talk to Jill.
Is it body shots? You're going with
No, it's like all right. So I'm basically after how
that? You
many
don't have to
years?
say it if it's like a copy.
No, I mean it doesn't. It doesn't matter.
It's not
Well,
gonna happen, so
Yeah, it probably won't happen to me. But I think it's time to like get rid of my backpack.
I feel you.
Like most of it. I'll never get rid of my haunted ghost hat. That shit's staying with me. I'm gonna have it downloaded into my coffin when it's time to go. But I don't know, man. I've had that thing forever, and the last time I tried to play TF2, my lag was so bad I just turned it off after like 1 round.
You have bad lag at your place now?
It only started happening like a month ago. Once we were getting like snow and all kinds of rain, so I think something's like messed up somewhere local. But before that, I had no issues whatsoever. I had like insane, like 300.
I had an insane connection.
Yeah, like 300 down. I would never have, and usually I connect to West Coast servers because there's nothing mountain time. So I would have like kind of high, but it wouldn't go over like 50.
Is
No.
Google Fiber still expanding? Like, are they going out to
No,
places?
I
still?
don't think so.
I think that
Why
with
not?
the advent of 5G, they've kind of decided that it's not worth it.
Gotcha. Okay.
5G?
sense.
Wait, what's
Yeah,
5G?
Well, you know, like you have 3G, 4G. They're coming out with 5G. It's going to take a few years until it's actually 5G, but the speeds are supposed to be like 100 times that of 4G.
Oh, okay. So like,
So it's just like,
oh,
yeah.
Wait, so they're saying that doing Google Fiber isn't worth it?
yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of time. You know, you have to like actually dig trenches and like lay all the line
Yeah,
and
yeah.
everything. And it's just like with 5G coming around, you're going to have close to those speeds without all that.
Really?
But
5G is
what-
that fast?
Yeah, but like, how would that affect? I mean, yeah, for phones, right? Like 5G doesn't affect like home.
I think
internet,
the
as far as I
idea
can
is that it's
tell.
going to be fast enough that you could use it as your home internet.
Oh, you're saying like if you got a
What?
dongle for your PC,
Well, I'm
so
thinking
Ethernet?
like companies will start using that. Like internet companies could start using that as an alternative.
But
Oh,
I'm
you know
kinda-
they'll find a way to completely
What?
no, they'll dick us
destroy
over
your
with the
pocketbooks.
5G.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
But I mean,
monopolize it.
But who's creating the 5G if the service providers are just going to be able to like use it?
I
Like,
don't-
is it,
I
like, a
don't know the
different entity?
specifics.
Like, okay, that's interesting. I don't know.
But
Well, it's
you
weird.
just have
Like,
to- you-
isn't cable? Isn't the internet that we're using now, for instance, isn't that done through a cable, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm,
5G
yeah.
is that's not done through a cable. That's done through the
Right.
air.
Yeah.
Wait, wouldn't that completely
But they're
change
saying
the
it's
way that
better
things are
than
structured?
cable.
Yeah. Wait.
I'm not
what?
saying I'm not saying they're saying it's better than cable,
Oh, I
but
thought, okay.
it's like the cost of it for most people. Most people don't require fiber. They don't require a gigabit down.
right.
So it's like
I
most
do.
people. Right. There's still obviously going to be options for that sort of thing, but I mean, like 5G is going to be so much faster that it's just going to like change a
Man.
lot of the landscape and how that works. But you have to. It's also like the speeds that we get now for 4G aren't really 4G. Like cell phone companies like lie about that shit. So when they start saying
companies?
when they start saying like, oh, 5G is here, it's not real 5G. It's like actual 4G speeds. So.
No, I remember that's what they did when Google announced fiber. AT&T announced that they were like, we have fiber, but they just called it fiber. Like they did some stupid like, I don't know, technicality where they're just like, oh, it's just called fiber. It's not what.
Right. Yeah.
It's not like fiber internet.
It's like fiber with like an asterisk next to
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Like where I mean, like where they don't even have to put an asterisk because they're not even. I mean, like I don't know. They were just taking advantage of a situation. It was really scummy.
Yeah.
That sounds like.
Wait, this is that fiber. They go to some poor old lady, and they're like, "We got fiber." Oh, that's what my grandson was talking about. Said it was much faster. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Well, we did it.
We did it. We made it.
The non-politics episode.
All the way through. I think we only named like a politician once.
Yes.
You know.
Boomer remover.
I'm so glad I didn't bring up this topic because I was about to bring up this topic until you guys just said that. And I'm like, all right, it's probably gonna get political if I bring it
No,
up.
please. I visited my
closing up.
stepdad today.
Yeah, let's just close it up. All right, guys.
Shut it down.
It's been a good one, boys. 2-parters, 2 hours.
2-parters.
Each one.
Yes.
Nice. Good job, boys. All right.
Good job, guys. We'll pay you in. What was
In
that
Bitcoin?
sponsorship called?
I forgot the name.
Ravox.
We'll pay you with our Ravox sponsorship money.
Yeah.
Wait,
For
can I
sure.
make
We're
an
definitely
amendum or an asterisk or whatever? I don't even know what the word is called. It's just something I said.
Double entendre.
Just something I said in the first part, the politics episode. Because I remember, I can't remember if it was if I even said this when we were recording or not, but I was complaining about how the government injected $1.5 trillion into the stock
Wall
market.
Street.
Right.
Apparently, that's not the same thing as when they did it in 2008, where they
Right.
bailed out the banks. Apparently, it's something to do with the Federal Reserve and
Yeah.
something I don't understand. It's not something that
Right.
that we'll see. So maybe I don't care as much. I thought it was like a taxpayer thing.
Right.
Anyway, that was a thing. I did more research and I changed my mind, which is something everybody should do, by the way.
I still
like
think
that.
it's fucked up.
I think it's fucked up too. I think any money that's not coming back to the people, dude, to benefit
Yo,
us.
No.
You know,
Here's the thing.
come on
I really tried to be mad about it, but I couldn't. Here's the thing. Is that
Listen,
it's not
it's
real
not a thing.
money.
Oh.
It's
If I
just
don't
they-
get some fucking paper towel soon, I'm gonna punch a bitch in the throat. All right.
Here's the good news about that, by the way. Apparently, there's not a toilet paper shortage or any. There's not a shortage. It's just that there are people shopping a lot,
Yeah.
and a lot of companies, of course, didn't like prepare for that. So they just need to order more. So if you go to the store in like 2 days, they're probably gonna have some of it again. Like you just gotta wait.
Instead of buying
Yeah.
toilet paper, I've been buying the toilet paper company stock.
Ooh,
That's smart.
So
That is
And
probably good.
and bidet, big
smart.
bidet.
You gotta buy
No,
everything
I'm
that's
telling you.
crashing because when this whole thing bounces back, you'll have bought a very valuable stock at very low prices. That's what my mom has been
True.
doing all week.
Oh,
She
wow.
understands that
That's
shit
how she
better
got
than
her
I do.
house for so cheap.
I might just
Smart.
ask her. I might just give my mom $1,000 and be like, "Put this somewhere, and pay me back later."
Or you could buy Bitcoin. I think the price dropped like half.
I already have.
in,
I
like, 2
legitimately
days.
have about $100 worth of Dogecoin, so I hope that goes well.
That's
Yeah.
gonna pop off next.
You know what? That's
I can
smart
feel
though, because I know Fatima got hit hard on her 401k, so she just like moved a ton of shit over like
Over to Bitcoin.
3 days ago. No, over to bonds. So that the
government
1.5 for 1 trillion, whatever that they're bailing out. It's the Fed's
Right.
doing good for
That's from the bonds, right?
yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it'll be good. If you think about it, they just buy stuff and buy stuff and buy stuff.
Yeah, just gotta keep the cycle churning.
Yeah, man. Because we're not worried about being healthy. We're worried about the economy going down.
We'll keep the cycle churning next week.
With other
I
people.
like that. All right, next week, let's do it. That was about to get political too, right there.
All
I'm not
right.
gonna lie. All right, boys. We'll see y'all.
Thanks for listening.
next week.
Peace.
Bye bye.